A hefyd, yn cyflwyno heddiw yma...
Also today we've got Jackie and Emrys over there, and we'll hear more from them later on. So, big hello to everyone who's here today. This is part of our daily exercise. So we're here because back in July 2023, we did an online session discussing the project, and we did a little questionnaire at the end saying what else would people want to hear about the project. And one of the things was, how do we work together with other creatives? Nearly a year later now, and we're here. So today, just to check that we're all in the right place and know what to expect, this is a creative collaboration where we're looking how the research and development project, working with creatives and with the communities to develop ideas and activities not set by particular targets or outcomes. So we'll be sharing what we've learned, the processes we've been using as part of it, and we'll be hearing from Jackie and Emrys about who's been commissioned as part of the project. So the agenda, roughly, is to tell you a little bit about how we worked as a creative group, hearing from Jackie and Emrys, having a short activity. So if you had the message to bring your pen and paper, pencil and paper, nothing serious, don't worry about it. And then we'll have some time to discuss, and we will finish by 1 o'clock. We'll try and be quite strict about finishing by 1 o'clock. So if you could introduce yourselves in the chat, say who you are and from where, what you do, so we know who's in the room, and maybe a chance to see people you don't know. So before I hand over to Katie to talk more about how we've been working creatively with the communities, I'll give you some background about Dyffryn Dyfodol. It's an R&D project funded by the Arts Council of Wales through Connect and Flourish, 2 years initially. We delayed it for a year because of COVID and so much to do. It's also a partnership between Cartrefi Conwy and ourselves. We wanted to look at different ways of working together with the 3 partners and also with creative people and communities in the catchment area of the Conwy River. Some of the stuff we've done, and there's a big variety, a lot of things we haven't shared yet, but we're working on them. At last, we started the Instagram account, so there'll be more stuff on that. We've done the bike cinema in 3 communities at the beginning of the project. Recently, £200 for people for their ideas. That's led to loads of different people. Craft session in Llanrwst. Project supporting people on the spectrum. All kinds of stuff that we'll show you in the future. And then one of the things we did, where we're looking at more today, is the call to work with creative people. And we'll hear more later on about that. During the session, any comments or questions you've got, just put them in the chat, and we're happy to respond and have a chat about it. If we don't have time today, we'll get in touch with you after the session. So now over to Katie to talk about what exactly we've been doing.
Yeah, so beth ni wedi wneud. Actually, sorry, Sioned, I'm going to do this mainly in English.
Okay.
So
no problems.
Okay. Bore da, everybody. So we had a really exciting journey as part of this R&D project, and it included commissioning what we were trying to commission in a different way, a different creative call out. And that was through some direct invites and then also kind of national call out as well. And it was about concentrating on the process of the creative call out. And that took place way back in January 22. And so the approach was quite simple, and we basically put a call out inviting conversation. There were some other kind of small elements to that. I think Yuan's going to put a link in the chat which shows what the call out was, which was on our website. And it was basically, yeah, inviting conversation with people. We didn't want CVs or kind of any resumes or any, forms, etc. And it wasn't about a project to kind of deliver, it wasn't a call out to deliver a specific project or output. So we wanted to find creatives that were interested in working with people, to develop ideas and projects as a co-creation, as a collaboration. And with us, and also with people in the Conwy Valley, so with communities. Between us, and that was Ewan and myself, we spoke to 68 creative practitioners, and they weren't, the call out, I would say, is also wasn't about branding it sort of creative practitioners. We tried to have wording that invited people who didn't necessarily practice as a creative practitioner, but who felt that they were creative in some way, just to try and open things up a bit. So we had conversations with 68 people who were interested in working in a different way and finding out a bit more about what this project was about. So after the conversation that we had with them, they were invited to submit an idea, which could come in various formats, of course. And the idea was that when they kind of approached us with a little bit more kind of a bit more of a suggestion what they might do, we were kind of quite keen to hear what their approach would be and the communities or the community they'd be interested to work with. That resulted in about, I think, 26, is that right, Yuan? 26 responses that we then had to shortlist. And the shortlisting process itself was different again, because we didn't have a list of fixed criteria where you score people or anything like that. But it included 6 of us involved with that shortlisting process, including representatives from the 2 partner organisations and then 2 other creative brains who had already been brought in to the project. And that process was quite different, and it involved us all reading or listening to the submissions individually, noting down our biases, noting down what we liked, what we didn't feel was what we were looking for, and then we all came together to discuss. And as you may imagine, this took a long time, but that was part of the process. As a result of that, we then selected 12 creatives who were shortlisted, and we invited them, paid for, to meet face-to-face for a day, and that took place in Trevorrow. After that face-to-face meeting, the 12 went away to work up in more detail their proposals, and this again was paid for. And a result of that, we then had 6 creatives that were selected. So from that selection process of 6, just to explain that we had a fee for delivery of activity and then a different fee for involvement of regular meetings, which were in person and online, as we really wanted to put a value, financial value, on the importance of the collaborative and the supportive side of what we were trying to do collectively. I don't know if there are any questions in the chat, because I can't see the chat, but if you do have any questions about that process, then please pop them in. And as I say, it wasn't, the process wasn't sort of without its challenges, which I indicated in terms of the timescale it takes to have conversations with people, but they were beautifully rich and very worthwhile. It'd be interesting to hear from Jackie and Emrys actually now, and maybe you guys, for part of your kind of presentation or conversation, to just reflect on any of the process, if you want to share. I think we're going to go to Emrys first, if that's okay.
Yeah, hi, bore da pawb. I'm going to share with my screen with you in a second the work that came through the Dyffryn Dyfodol sort of process. But initially, just to sort of expand on what Katie said there about the call-out process and responding as someone who's quite used to responding to artist call-outs, that when one lands in front of you and it's noticeably different, first of all, you're looking for the catch. So what's the catch here? Like, why aren't I being asked to be a round peg to fit in a square hole? And I think that the trust involved between the relationship between stakeholders, between a commissioning body, the artist, the groups you're working with, that right at the start, there was a level of trust that as an artist, as a creative, I trusted the commissioning group that there was no catch, that the openness of that, if you've had a chance to look through the call out document, that there was a very open and honest ask, and that led to a great expansion in the way that I was able to approach my response to that. So I'm just going to share my screen with you and talk through the project very quickly from start to finish of my experience following on from that call out. So we've got here a Miro board. We have, if everyone can see that, we used Miro as our kind of collection place for all of the 6 commissioned artists to put together our findings. I started out looking to be involved with a community at the source of the River Conwy. So I looked to the nearest sort of village, Penmachno, and wanted to engage with the farming community. That was my initial sort of aim, was to engage with the farming community. Coming from a farming background, I wanted to explore the evolution of storytelling from a agricultural kind of source. And I really should have known better, because farmers don't have a lot of time. And as much as I was able to meet people one-to-one, going down the farm drive, talking over the farm gate, it was very difficult to engage beyond that and galvanize a community that is that's very spread out through the sort of geographical area. But my time spent, I'm not from Penmachno, I live down in Cardigan, and so as a visiting artist, I wanted to tread lightly, to have respect for what already existed in the community. And I was fortunate enough to have the benefit of Kristin Luke, who was based in Penmachno, had just started the works on Oriel Machno. And as a visiting artist, I was able to then really start to collaborate right at the start of the project. One of the main things that we did during Dyffryn Dyfodol was, as artists, we met regularly to share what we'd learned, to encourage, to challenge each other. We became a group of critical friends. And Lindsay Colborne, another artist from Nant Peris, sort of gave me a nudge into encouraging me to find actually more of a research question. And it became really important for me to do that, to approach the project with a very much a research question that would overarch what I was looking for. So I kind of followed my nose with that, really. And yeah, I wanted to find out how small an intervention I could have that would make a noticeable impact. And so I started to engage with existing groups to try and elevate the creative practice of the existing groups. And so this idea of becoming a creative friend to the community evolved. So instead of being a visiting artist that would normally be asked to come and facilitate workshops, events, etc., I was a visiting artist that was coming to be a creative friend, a sounding board, a prompter, an instigator, an encourager, and a listener to what was a very lively existing community that actually would benefit most from having someone with a sort of with some critical distance to have a fresh pair of eyes on what was going on and how to make more of it, for instance. So I started 5 minutes, Ewan. Okay. I started with developing a set of prompts cards to go along with the shows that had begun in the Oriel. I then would make myself available to do things like, I'll just zoom in here. We were able to, if you can see my screen, there was an archive of 8mm film found. I digitized that so that could be shared on a screening night. We had a photo sharing day, and I set up Penmachno's profile on the People's Collection website, which is an incredible resource, so that the village can now share beyond its boundaries with its sort of social history. Being a poetry underpins everything that I do. So as an artist, poetry is the kind of network on which I operate, and then the fruiting bodies of my work pop up as they may be visual, they may be written, whatever. And so the Bridgestone in Penmachno offered the opportunity to, it's an englyn, a Welsh form of poetry, offered the opportunity to then use the existing Valley magazine to invite to have a poetry page. Community started to take on, sort of see what was existing, like People's Collection, like Odin, to sort of instigating something for them then to take them on and to carry on with those interventions. It's great cycling country up in this part of the world, and so I would, when I visited, I would cycle around, and it led to as a conversation starter. I would, yeah, and became a kind of regular thing for me to cycle around Penmachno and in the Cwm to talk to people. And then this led to me noting down my conversations and the ideas that it sort of gave birth to, and the poems that came out of that. I then reflected those in lines that were etched onto the slates that were collected from the quarry, and then returned them back into the community and left these etched poem slates in the area, in places where I'd stopped and had the conversations and that sort of thing. Anyway, just coming down to the last piece, because I've probably only got 1 minute, oh goodness. There is available then a little booklet that is a culmination of the learnings from Dyffryn Dyfodol, which for anyone who wants to be involved in community creative projects. I'm just going to stop sharing my screen and just hold it up. There are physical copies and digital download copies available, if you'd like to get in touch with any. And it's really been a collaborative sort of edition for a resource for anyone wanting to kind of, yeah, take the learnings of our experiences with Dyffryn Dyfodol, and it felt like really that was then asked to produce an output of any sort, anything. The research needs to go somewhere, and I feel like that I was able to put it into this shared pamphlet. So there we are.
Diolch
Good.
for sharing.
Okay.
I know da ni'n gallu siarad am stuff am ddyddiau.
Yes, we can talk about stuff for days, so it's quite challenging to ask you to share everything in 10 minutes, but thank you very much for that. So now we'll go straight over to Jackie. There are some questions, but we'll get back to those on the chat. Keep on putting your questions. Now, Jackie.
Hi, everybody. I'm Jackie Lay. I live in Dargedau, and back in January 2022, it seems like yesterday, when I first met you, Anne, I responded to the creative call out and thought, I'm not quite sure what this is, and talking to people, and there's, what is it? And I was like, I don't really know. And then I had the meeting with you, Anne, where he was explaining, and as we were talking, the penny was just dropping. He was saying, we don't want people who are coming in with like hero pieces that you're going to produce as an end product. We don't want artists to be the kind of font of all knowledge, and everybody has to follow you and create workshops in your style. And this is about being part of a creative experience, a creative journey. And I thought, that sounds brilliant. I was already doing a project with the chymunedau Landscape Partnership within Dargedau, because nothing happened much in Dargedau. And I got a little art club together, and we were looking at the history of Dargedau, which is really rich if anybody knows about it. But this sort of idea of the future and the future of the valley seemed to really complement it and be really fresh. And it was like, well, okay, what happens if we do ask this question to the community? What do you want the future of Dargedau to be like? And I thought, well, how am I going to do that? I don't know, Ewan, could you show my Miro board? Is that okay? So I started with thinking about, well, what's the aim of this whole thing? What am I doing? So the aim, there's a few there. You can see my scrawly writing: to unify the village, build bridges and new relationships, celebrate people, industry, the unique location of Dargedau. Yeah, I don't know if you can see there, but it says better communication and understanding. What happens in the village? Who is it? Who are we? What happens here? And then to create new possibilities, a calendar of events a sculpture, an art park, walkway to connect us to Trevorrow and beyond, a light festival, a carnival. Had all these ideas. Also, who are we? So wanted opportunities for young people, jobs, skills, training, experience. But who were we? Who is the community of Dolgarrog? And you can see there, I sort of just started identifying different groups. So there was the church, there was the school. We've got lots of industry here. We've got lots of commercial ventures like Adventure Park Snowdonia, which is now Zipworld Snowdonia. We've got obviously the Hilton and lots of other smaller independents. And how could we bring all of these people together? So I think having a creative call out that was really broad and really wide open and looking at the future really made me think very, very deeply before I put my proposal together. And I came up with the idea of, actually, how about we put on a little village fete? And we do it with all of these different people in the village, all of these different organisations. And the idea was to have a meeting of commercial industry with grassroots. And would by putting something on together, let's see where it goes, let's see what happens. And that's what.
Oh, ma Jackie wedi rhewi. Jackie frozen. You.
He's frozen for me too.
Frozen. So, be dwi'n mynd I drio neud wan, di cario ymlaen.
Okay, so now I'll try and take over and talk about what Jackie's done then as she's frozen.
Not a patch on your presentation. We're going to try and fill in until you join us again.
So then what Jackie did was to develop this idea of creating a festival that grew out of the idea of having this small village fete and develop a festival. So to me, as somebody who wasn't part of the organising, it was huge. £3,000 for the artist plus 1,000 for the meetings, which isn't a lot really. But because we didn't have any expectations, it was up to the creative crew what they were doing. So Jackie did this huge thing with the community. Jackie's gone out to try and come in again, I think. We'll keep an eye out for her. So as you can see, this is the poster, and this is the image he created for the festival. And that was organised jointly with the community, which they called Cari Dolgarrog, a non-profit organisation. But they raised much more money afterwards to be able to hold this festival. And then Jack has shared pictures of the festival down here. About 600 local people came out. Some of the artists are on the call with us today. All these pictures to give you an idea of what was happening. I hope Jack is coming back. Then Lindsay, one of the other artists, jointly with Gweithgareddau, created a futures tent, looking at what kind of future people wanted for Dolgarrog. And lots of activities had taken place before this day. So this was like a conclusion, bringing everything together on the table so that people could have more of a chance to see them and to discuss. And this came out of other ideas that Lindsay got about working between Capel Curig and Dolgarrog. And there's loads of stuff online as well. And perhaps Katie can share links about to the work that Lindsay did in Dolgarrog.
Yeah, and
There was an exhibition at the church as well. I'm not able to talk as well as Jackie about this, but where they've got to now is they've just succeeded to have 150,000 grants for a project to be completed by the end of November, part of the Levelling Up Fund. So this is the plan. I don't know much about this yet. I know they're very busy and they've got loads to do, and they're going flat out between now and November. But I hope that Jackie can fill us in again about that. But no, still not here. Okay, I've given you some information there then, but we'll give Jackie an opportunity to talk about it properly. So thank you, Jackie and Emrys, for sharing those. I want to tell you something else we've done with the creative crew as well. In Talabont, we met in January and we asked about 12 people in the room. We had lots of discussions about how to describe and share how Dyffryn Dyfodol has been different to other projects. So now I'm going to share what we created. So all the creative people created an image or a diagram. And I think I'll ask Emrys now to talk about this. This is your diagram, I believe.
Yeah, we created two diagrams. Ewan, can you go to the first one? Just the diagrams were sort of visualizations of the commissioning process and the creative process of way that we normally sort of would undertake a project. It was a very quick exercise, but this first one, just quickly, it was a very linear path to me, as in it had a beginning, a middle, and an end. And you may not, it's not important really completely what it says, but it was a frustrating path. It was a frustrating path where there was a compromise, and there was a feeling of sort of flatness at the end, like a post-party come down, where maybe we realized that the compromises had taken away the essence of maybe what we were trying to achieve potentially, and that maybe the longevity wasn't there for the impact of the project to carry on without us, which is really what we want to do. The second one, more importantly, was this more cyclical process in which there was constant evaluation and pivoting of an idea. So we started out with a question. There was a point of no return where we really had got to grips with what that question was and how we were going to embed and work with community and to move a project forward. We then moved that forward with confidence. We gathered people along the way. You can see at the bottom, there's a gathering of people along the way. Then there's a wiggly nature to the path, which we'll take turns in carrying the torch as we're inviting expertise and collaboration with different people. And inevitably, we come back to the top where maybe we're posing another question. And so there's this cyclical nature rather than a transactional relationship where we're asking for a deliverable and we are ending up with an outcome. Yeah.
You're on mute, Ewan.
Oh, schoolboy, yeah. Welcome back, Jackie.
Oh, I'm so sorry. I can't believe it. There must have been a power surge. My internet went off. So, Ewan, can you just move the Miro, please? Ewan.
I've done a really bad job of explaining your project, Jackie.
Oh,
but
no.
I've been through the main stages. But do you want to just kind of summarize in like an overall way what it was like? And I'll bring the mirror board back up for you.
Okay.
And
There's
I've
also
talked about the 150 amazing £1,000 that you've now got for the community as well. But
there's also just a question from in the chat just about yeah, keen to hear about from Jackie how particularly how did you ensure all voices were heard in decision-making process rather than the loudest or most confident?
So in terms of that, so to go back to where I think I was before I went. So the starting point really to sort of get people together was I put on an exhibition, an archive exhibition of photographs of people's past. So I invited people from the community to bring along photos of their life in Dargedau. And we went to the local, like the cog, the shop, and people came in and brought photos in. Next minute, we had 500 photos of the history of Dargedau. I think there is an image there somewhere on my Miro board. And people loved it. The first day I opened the doors, 200 people came into the church, this little church, and they stayed and they talked and they carried on. Talking about the history and what used to happen in Dargedau and the aluminium works and, you know, their life as children and so on and so forth. And from that, we established a little group of people who then started meeting on a regular basis to put together this village fete, which ended up as the Gweithgareddau. And we just kept inviting people to little events, to the meetings, and then we sort of ran events with different parts of the community. So I got some more funding. I went because this thing was growing and there was an appetite for it. I got more funding, so I got lottery funding. And Ang Howard's here. Hi, Ang Howard, who you'll see on some of the photos working with the children to create the tale of the Garog. And by targeting the different groups, we targeted the school, we targeted the sort of teenage of the village, and our elderly folk. We had an afternoon tea in the Hilton. We got as many people around the table as possible, and we also had Lindsay Colburn working with us because she, I don't know if how much Yuan explained, but Lindsay came.
I've been through all the different parts,
the elements,
Jackie, really, all the different elements. So I mean, because I'm just wondering now whether it'd be great if you could record, like not now, but like record you talking about your Miro board with a video to share with people. Because we're going to run out of time and it's not really fair on you to try and rush it, really. Such a basic job of it.
What I was going to say about with Lindsay, she went round with individuals and created this amazing website, which is like a map of Dargedau, and then you go into the different areas and it's all people's voice. It's all about people's voice. The whole project is about the people of the village, to answer Heather's question. So the way to engage everybody, and I mean there's still people that we haven't engaged, but hopefully with our next projects we'll bring more and more people on, and it's grown. I think my whole kind of experience of this project has been
Jackie's
one
gone.
of great freedom. Great freedom, great liberation to just see what happens by talking to people and working with people in different capacities, different ways. We've now got a really strong group of people, or groups of people. There's lots of different groups within the village now who are engaged. Yeah, so sorry about that.
Diolch, Jackie. I'm so sorry that you haven't had like a decent 10 minutes to talk about it.
That's okay.
I'm sorry. We can blame technology, absolutely.
Yeah, I can talk forever about the projects. But...
Well, we all can, can't we? That's what I was saying earlier. So diolch, I'm trying to hit out. So hefyd ti isio just really, really cyflym mewn 1 munud.
So just very quickly, do you want to talk about the plan with the £150,000? I didn't quite get there. Just a quick summary of what you're up to.
Can you say that in English? Sorry.
Your internet's still playing up, I think, Jackie. So can you just really briefly, 30 seconds, explain what your plans are with this £150,000 that you've got now?
Right, okay. Yeah. So the Dyfodol, you can see it's in the title there, Dyfodol Agored. So Agored used to be called Agored, renamed. So it's about the future and the history. And we're creating community gardens for people to come and work together and play together. We've got another festival, we've got other events including Agored's Got Talent and a poetry evening, and we've, most importantly, I think, we've created some jobs. We've got 3 people appointed, one of which is myself as a project coordinator, and then we've got somebody to work with us as a outdoor events coordinator, and then somebody working alongside me as a kind of a second sort of project coordinator, and we're looking to the future beyond this grant and what we might do next year, which is the 100th anniversary of the dam disaster, and that could be really sort of symbolic of healing a community and change in the future. So it's really exciting, and yeah, that's
brilliant. Amazing. Well done, Jackie, with all your amazing hard work. And then what we did when you weren't with us, Jackie, is we went to the diagrams and Emrys shared his. Do you want to quickly share your diagram, which I'll share with everyone now, and then we'll go into the exercise.
Okay, so my diagram was the kind of traditional kind of creative call out, perhaps more the kind of way that I've been used to working. So you've got the idea, and then you write up your stages of the idea, who your target is, and creating the thing, and then you get the prize at the end, the workshops delivered, the things achieved, you write your report, and that's it. I think with this project, you can see on the right hand side there, I've got the idea, which turned into several ideas and grew, and the idea is that just by bringing more and more people on, and you can see them all cascading down, it just grew and grew until like we're creating a community of as many people as possible to be engaged in who knows what. And this is the back of my page where I've just put lots and lots of question marks. Where next? What next? Where are we going with all of this? Yeah, so that was my...
Diolch, Jackie, mae'n wych, brilliant. Diolch.
Thank you, Jackie, great. And hopefully your internet will behave from now on. So now is the time for you to have your pen and paper out. So if you're ready. So what we'd like to do... No, sorry, this is Katie, sorry.
No, I'm fine. Carry mine. Well, okay, yeah. So yeah, what we would like you to do is to also see if you've got a few minutes to do your own drawing. And there's no right or wrong about doing this at all. But just to have a little moment of reflection about what your traditional kind of creative brief might look like and how you would like to receive a creative brief moving forward. So the kind of the instruction is about create a diagram or drawing of your ideal creative commissioning process, and we're just going to give you a few minutes to do that. I have popped it in the chat, yeah, we're just going to have a couple of minutes of silence whilst you have a little think about that, if that's okay.
Katie, we'll go into breakout rooms first.
Okay.
So if we, so the idea is that you make your own. Oh, sorry, no, you're completely right, Katie. Mae'n ddrwg iawn gyda i, ymddiheuriadau.
Dim ots.
I'm getting confused. So yeah, a few minutes to create your diagram gynta. Diolch. Sorry, Katie.
Okay. So just give you 1 minute more. Okay, iawn. Dwi'n siŵr os mae pawb yn isio rhannu.
I don't know if you're all ready and if you want to share.
So, yeah, ydych chi'n ymfodlon dal eich diagram
Are
fyny
you
i
happy
gyd
to
i
show your
weld?
diagram? Hold it up for all of us to see it.
Swn i'n hoffi gwneud y screenshot os...
I would like to have a screenshot if you don't mind.
Clearly we can't see them all, but thank you for contributing. Okay, Ewan, have you got your screenshot? Iawn, okay. So nesaf, swn i'n hoffi drafod mwy.
So next,
Yeah, swn i'n hoffi drafod mwy.
I'd like to have more of a discussion.
Yeah, am eich diagramau a cwestiynau
And about your
canlyniol.
diagrams and questions coming out of them.
So mae gen i tri cwestiwn.
So 3 questions I want you to think about.
Beth fyddai comisiwn creadigol defrydol?
What would be the ideal
2,
creative
beth
commission?
yw elfenni pwysig?
What are the important
A
elements?
3,
And
beth
thirdly,
ydych chi'n yn eisiau cynnwys
what do you want to
neu
include
gadael allan?
or leave out?
And we're going to go into some breakout rooms so you can have a short conversation with others. If you would like to take the questions from the chat, copy and paste them and bring them into the breakout room with you, that would be great because we don't know a way of posting the questions in the breakout rooms. So if you'd like to do that, and if you'd be happy to just, yeah, jump into your breakout rooms that Yuan is about to allocate everybody.
Croeso nôl pawb, welcome back everyone. Katie, dwi ddim yn cymryd drosodd y bit yma, I promise.
Right. Okay, ydyn ni'n barod am cam nesaf?
Okay, if we're ready for the next step then.
Okay, so what we'd just also like another moment of reflection, self-reflection, with a view to just, if you want to just write any notes that you kind of, or ideas that came up for you in terms of comments, responses, questions, because then we're going to invite you to put them in the chat. But the idea is that you put them in the chat all at the same time. So you write down some of your thoughts or questions, and then when I say 3, 2, 1, then they all go in the chat at the same time, so there's no hierarchy of information. So I'm going to be quiet for a minute and a half, let you have a think if there's anything that you want to share with us, and then I'll invite you to put it all in the chat at the same time. So any ideas, comments, responses, or questions? Okay, I'm hoping some of you will have had a chance to. Oh, do people want a bit more time? Thumbs up if people are ready, or thumbs down if you're not. Okay, I can't see many thumbs up. Oh yeah, I can see some thumbs up. Okay, I'm going to ask you on the count of 3 to shove your things in the chat, and we'll see what happens with a cascade of sharing. So, 1, 2, 3, ewch. Okay. So this is always the fun bit, is then to have a chance to look through and see if any of us would like to pick out anything, Jackie and Emrys, or anyone else.
I'm loving Angharad's "the best commissions come from the community," which is what I found, and allow for messiness, which can be the compost for the next things. Love it. Allowing for mistakes, isn't it?
Mae'n a lot sôn am messiness, actually. Mae'n eitha difyr.
I like willingness from both parties to be curious, learn from one another, and create something new. Trust in the creative.
Yeah. And Rachel Rosen, being able to experiment and take creative risks. It is that risk taking, isn't it? And but also continuous dialogue with the commissioner so that expectations are managed. Trust is vital. I think that's one thing that I didn't get to say, which I wanted to say, was the that continuous dialogue. That second part of what Dyffryn Dyfodol was, you know, the research part, where we constantly met up and reflected and analysed and talked and worked out, you know, I suppose our next steps, what our next steps might be, or and having that trust and having that ability to take risks was really liberating as well.
I'm just trying to help Emrys because he's stuck on mute. Emrys, I can't help you, sorry. If you've got any comments, Emrys, please put them in the chat if you've got any. And we've got a few minutes, chydig bach o munudau. Os di rywun hefo unrhyw gwestiwn neu unrhyw ymateb I be
So a few minutes for any questions or responses to what you've just read.
Mae'n hollol fine os na ddim cwestiwn, na comments. Mae'n really difyr, dwi wrth y modd yn...
It's really interesting. I love reading through all your comments. So much I want to talk about following them, really. What stands out for me is the talk about messiness. We talk about that with a team, and I say that the process is messy, life is messy. It's interesting how that's come up today as part of the conversations.
He should be back.
He is back. Dwi 'di gadael o mewn. I'm just letting him in. So, Emrys, can you hear us?
What a day to have problems with the internet.
Oh, but we can't hear you, Emrys. Are you still trying to unmute but can't? Oh, hey.
We will be saving all of the chat and we will send it out afterwards, just to let you know that. So we've all got a way of just keeping an eye on what's been shared. Karine, you have a question. Would you like to unmute?
Yes, I missed some of the translations. I wasn't sure. So I thought I understood that you were inviting us for questions, and I suddenly added that. It's a question I asked quite early on in the session. If we have the chance, I'd really like to revisit this weekend. So when you were talking about the selection process, and you said one of the first things you did is writing down your bias. I'm really curious about that to hear what you learn from that on yourself and how that impacted on the selection process and the conversation you had then as a panel.
Did you be gyntaf, Katie?
Sure,
So
yeah.
Dwi wrth fi yn astudio seicoleg ar hyn o bryd, so my bias...
Well, I'm studying psychology at the moment, so bias is something I'm learning a lot about, and it's very difficult for us to do anything about it because it can be inherent in us. But I think important for us to recognise and to try and share with the rest of the panel what our biases were. For example, I like something that's designed nicely, so that will influence how I read something. So what it didn't do, it didn't get rid of our biases, but that made us aware of them and look at them and share them with the panel that was deciding, so that we could be honest about it and we could pick up on each other on it. So if somebody liked something, we could ask, well, is it because of the bias you told us about, or is there something else? So it was a chance to go deeper into the conversation, to see what we were working towards. Or it's not an answer to get rid of them, but it's a beginning to at least recognize them and see how our bias affects the way we look at things. Katie, do you want to add anything?
Yeah, just quickly, just to say, for me, it was about identifying yeah, what resonated with me or what I didn't like, etc. But by being open and transparent about that enables you to be challenged. And therefore we can then kind of actually say, actually, is that a valid reason to either particularly go for this or particularly not go for that? So that's what it took, a lot of conversation, and there were 6 of us doing that. But also it was interesting to realize that there were a number of biases that perhaps were quite similar as well, and to have an honest conversation about that and to question ourselves as to whether that was legitimate. Well, not legitimate. I mean, obviously we have biases, that's legitimate, but you know, whether it was a legitimate part of the process for decision making. So hopefully that has answered your question.
Or continue the conversation about biases, at least, even if we haven't answered your question. Emrys, are you able to talk?
Yes, I hope so.
Yay! Did you want to say anything, or did you just want the ability to do it?
Yeah, I think just a reflection of something from our discussion was that the sustainability of projects in terms of their longevity and their life cycle, the sort of transactional relationship that has a defined outcome usually has an end point, whereas communities are ongoing entities. And so what we had all been looking at in commissioning, in being commissioned, is how that can be sustainably carry on without us. And I think that the approach that we had in Dyffryn Dyfodol, and the approach that perhaps is being trusted more, is that there is an ability to engage with the process rather than the outcome, so that there is a sustainability to which that process can grow, can change, is more dynamic, and has a lasting impact. Yeah, that was all, I think.
Right, diolch, Emrys. And I just ymateb I be mae David...
And I'll just respond to what David's written. Yeah, so one of the things we were trying to do was to create a space for people who had money that would safeguard the creative people to carry on with what they wanted to do, rather than keep thinking about reaching targets. Of course, we've got to put targets in when we make an application, but we haven't passed that on to the creative practitioners, really. So that's the playground we want to create for the creatives and the communities to work together to continue with anything that came up as they work together. So yes, you do need some kind of framework, but there are different ways of creating that framework. And I hope that in Dyffryn Dyfodol, we've created a framework that's full of trust in each other, and for people to do what they're amazing at doing, which is getting ideas and working together and being brilliant. Okay, I'm aware of time. We could talk for ages. If you want to get in touch with us, we're really happy for you to do that, one-to-one or in another group. Get in touch with Katie or me. So just to finish then, if you don't mind, if you could complete a poll. We didn't have enough time last time. Karine, have you got a question before we go to everyone?
Yeah, sorry, really quickly, because you said obviously you had to put target, but it's obviously in the way you worked, so many things that you could not anticipate that would be happening. And you're thinking of the project in Dolgarrog, that one of the direct outcome is to secure this funding from Leveling Up Fund. I mean, I hope you claim credit for that, but are you able to report that into your funders, because that probably won't fit in a box?
It's a good question, because Jackie made that happen rather than Dyffryn Dyfodol. So Dyffryn Dyfodol was the seed for that. So I think there's a balance between claiming something, but it inspired things and gave Jackie the confidence to go on and do that bit. Jackie, do you want to come in?
Yeah, I think, yeah, very much it was like the catalyst was the future, you know, I mean, the whole kind of idea of the future of the valley, and that really captivated me and started me thinking that. So maybe it was the theme of the call out as well, as, you know, the way it was so open and so on. But yeah, it was very much a catalyst.
We've also talked a lot about ripples, stuff that we've started. We're not sure what effect they'll have afterwards, after they left us. So, and we've come to terms with not knowing what's happening exactly, following something that could have started with us. Embrace.
Yeah, just picking up on that point, that one of the sort of ambitions that I have now is to bring the Dyffryn Dyfodol process and structure to another part of the country. And so the transition from being a Conwy-based project to, you know, I'm from wedi on Pembrokeshire border, so bringing that to another part of the country is sort of, yeah, the ripples are ongoing for the sort of Dyffryn Dyfodol, and how is that you know, possible to evaluate within the time frame is, well, it's not my problem, but I think that it just shows that it's, you know, the opportunity was there to be bigger than it, you know, it possibly could be written.
Could I just come in on that as well, because I think we've been discussing the successes of our projects, which obviously we want to do. We want to say, wow, you know, this was brilliant, and everything. But if it hadn't have been that, and, you know, something very sort of much smaller and less successful, perhaps, I don't know, how do you measure success, would have equally had value because of the process and that continuing dialogue with each other. And how often do you get 8 creative people in a room working together and, you know, thinking outside the box in that way? That was a real luxury, I have to say. So yeah, it's not always about outcomes, is it? And to fail, you know, is also valid, I think. Yeah.
Diolch, Jackie. Mae hwnna'n wych. Fel yn dweud, sy'n gallu siarad am ages. Dwi yn mynd i roed 5 munud cyfa i chi gwblhau.
Okay, I'm going to give you 5 minutes now to complete the questionnaire for me now, please. So I'm now launching the poll. So take 5 minutes, please, to fill this in.
Gwblhau, diolch. Sut mae pawb yn dod ymlaen efo cwestiynau? Sgwennu traethawd, ella? Fi'n gwybod tro dwytha nath ni orffen, a ni'n bach o frys, a nath ni orffen yr holiadur yn bach yn
I know
gynnar.
last time we had to rush you a bit, so we finished the question a bit too quickly, but have you had a chance to complete it now today? If you could put your thumbs up. Because once I close it down, it all goes. Okay, thank you for your time in doing that. Very useful to have your feedback. So it's nearly 1 o'clock, and I want to thank you all so much for joining us today. We've got one more online session in a month. We'll be talking about evaluation and reflection on the 13th of June. All welcome. We'll have different speakers next time. So it'd be great to have you there. And as I said before, if you want to chat about any elements of your project over a cup of tea, or if you want to email us, that's okay too. And thank you to Katie and Emrys and Jackie. Croeso. Iawn. Keep in touch. Thank you very much. Thanks for taking part.